It's a trap!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Rumor and Theory Review, brought to you by Star Wars Newsnet and the Resistance Broadcast patrons. I'm John. Thank you so much for joining me today. Not a segmented list run-through of rumors and reviews this week. I'm just talking all about the Obi-Wan Kenobi streaming series that is coming to Disney+.
Hello there.
So there's been a lot going on about this series, so I just kind of wanted to free-verse talk about it based on the facts we have, the rumors that are out there, kind of separate the truth from the rumors and make sense of where we stand right now with this project, because it's a very important project for, obviously, Lucasfilm and Disney. This is supposed to be one of those sure things, no doubters, fans want it, everyone wants it type of thing. But also for fans. Fans are very protective of Obi-Wan Kenobi. They've wanted to see Ewan McGregor come back for years and years and years. Even before the merger between Disney and Lucasfilm, fans have been talking about, well, why don't we bring back Ewan McGregor and tell more stories and that sort of thing. So I think this was something that had been in even George Lucas's mind, if I had to guess, for years before the sale. Kind of like Solo. He always wanted to do that Solo standalone type of thing. So that aside, it's established how important this project is for them as a company and for us as fans. So with that aside, they know they want to get this thing right. So let's start with the facts. First, like we initially broke on StarWarsNewsNet.com, that this was going to be a series switched over from a movie after the box office returns of Solo. Wasn't marketed well, okay? So they decided to shift it over to a series. At the time, it was 6 episodes. The script from the film itself was great. I was told it is great. Like Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes. Great! I don't know why I said that. So they had the content there, and they needed to bring someone in to work it and turn it into an episodic series. So there's a lot involved when you adapt things from a movie script to a series. Obviously, you have to make it make sense in little chapters as opposed to one stretched out 2.5 hour story. So they brought in Hossein Amini, who had worked on The Alienist, McMafia. These are series. And also films, The Snowman, Drive, and Wings of the Dove. Most, if not all of his work had been adapted from previous material, whether that's books or other types of things like that. So they probably tabbed him because of his work adapting existing material. He's working with an existing script for Kenobi as a movie. Here you go, take it, adapt this into a series for us. It turns out things haven't been going that well, to the point where Kathleen Kennedy and Disney kind of want to pull the plug on him as a writer, so he is now off the project. So Hossein Amini off the project, but I want to talk about him briefly. So he's a bit hit or miss, right? So he was an Oscar nominee for Wings of the Dove for adapted screenplay, but that was 22 years ago now. And I'm not even sure most people even know of Wings of the Dove, to be honest with you. So, but then he made the movie. He wrote the movie Drive, also an adapted screenplay off of existing material book. So that was good. But then he also wrote The Snowman, which many of you probably know as a fodder piece of making fun of a movie out there. With a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, The Snowman, starring Michael Fassbender, about it's a serial killer or horror type of thriller movie. I saw it. It was awful. So that's not good. So he's got some good, some bad. Again, McMafia, which was a favorably reviewed series based on a book. And also he wrote 3 episodes of the series The Alienist, which was a 10-episode run. And the series had a 7.7 on IMDb. All 3 of his episodes were higher than that. So he did some of the best work on that series. So to be fair to Hossein Amini, just to get that out there, he has done a lot of great work. That's probably why they wanted to bring him in. But he has had some bad clunkers too. So you got to be careful with this type of thing. The Obi-Wan Kenobi series cannot be a miss for Disney or Lucasfilm. It must be a hit with fans, with critics, with everyone, because you have the actor who's beloved, Ewan McGregor, coming back as Kenobi, has always been in line to return. Has always been in line to return. This isn't something that was revealed. it's a no-brainer that he was coming back as Kenobi. They're not making the project if Ewan McGregor is not Obi-Wan Kenobi. So that's that. Everyone wanted this project to happen, so they know this one has to be a hit. It may even if Kathleen Kennedy is leaving Lucasfilm after her contract ends at the end of 2021. Now, that's just me speculating. I'm just saying it's possible her contract does end at the end of 2021. She'll be around 70 at that point. It's possible she may want to step aside and they want to take things in a new direction, mutual departure, that sort of thing. This could be her last, stamp for her work with Lucasfilm, because this project will probably, if it's going to start filming early 2021, it could come out at the end of 2021, but I would guess maybe they push it to 2022. So that to me means that could be one of her final projects as head of Lucasfilm. So that probably means a lot to her. So she clearly wants to get this thing right. What is Kathleen Kennedy good at? Producing. She is not afraid to pull the plug, as we've seen, when needed. And this is coming from a fan of her work. I've loved pretty much everything that they've done in this era. I understand some of you may not. I get it, okay? Believe me, we all have different points of view on this sort of thing. I happen to like what they've done, but I also understand sometimes you need to change in voice and change in direction. But that aside, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but you kind of get my point. Kathleen Kennedy wants to make sure this thing delivers. She has a legacy that she wants to leave behind. She knocked it out of the gate to start things off with The Force Awakens. Some mixed reviews from some of the other stuff, but all very successful. And she probably wants to go out with a bang. And if she does end after 2021, Kenobi could be that final project to say, this is my lasting leaving legacy with Lucasfilm. So everyone wants to make sure this thing gets right. They don't want to cut any corners with the Kenobi series. Now, I've also, you hear rumblings around that people are saying this thing may be shifted into back to a movie. So who knows what's going to be happening. The latest rumor was that they're cutting it down to 4 episodes. Depending on how long they are, then we're kind of treading backwards towards the length of time of content that would be a movie. Say the episodes are around The Mandalorian's length, like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes. If there's only 4 of those, then you're looking at about, 120, 140 minutes. That's like a movie. So who knows about those rumors, but back to the facts. Ewan McGregor had spoken about all these crazy rumors and stuff floating around online, including other YouTube videos and blogs and articles, editorials, all that sort of thing. It started with people saying that the series was going to get canceled, that they were jettisoning the project, and all kinds of chaos, that the thing was doomed. So that grand scale of rumors, all the way down to minuscule ones like, they're just reworking the scripts and stuff like that. Ewan McGregor said that he thinks the scripts are very good, but that they want to make them better. And you know what? People have been waiting for Obi-Wan Kenobi to come back for 15 years. If they want to push filming 6 months because they want to get the scripts right, I applaud the decision. Good for you. Do it. Take even longer if you need to, right? Who cares? Let's just get this thing right and make it good. So I'm behind what Ewan McGregor's saying. Good scripts. I love it. People are just being too dramatic about it. So I'm glad that he came out and said that, because he's now on record saying that. So, and I think his word means a lot to him, especially at this point in his career. And he loves the character, let's be honest. So the speculation that's been going around, and we had reported this on Star Wars Newsnet, but we fixed our article about it. Variety had just guessed that maybe Disney is looking for new writers in familiarity. So they could be looking at someone like Christopher Yost or Dave Filoni. Yost, who has done work on Rebels and Mandalorian. I believe he did Chapter 6. He wrote some for Chapter 6 of The Mandalorian. And he also wrote for Thor Ragnarok as well, which Taika Waititi directed. And then you have Dave Filoni, obviously a fan favorite for diehards, especially animated fans. Clone Wars, Rebels, did work on The Mandalorian too, of course. So there's a lot to be put in terms of that being a possibility. Obviously, that's more of a speculation on Variety's part. So that is not a fact. There's no evidence that either of these two have been approached about coming on to continue or fixing or improving the scripts for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So let's just make that clear. I know that's going to be floating around out there that Filoni and Yost are being considered or pulled in. It's possible that they might, but as of now, there's no evidence of that. Let's put it that way. But either way, Disney's looking for new writers for the adaptation, for the scripts, to make them better. And you know what? That's okay with me. So that's pretty much where we stand with Kenobi. So let's run down the facts one more time. Hossein Amini, who was brought in to take the existing script that was written for the movie and format it and change it and adapt it to a limited series of 6 episodes. It turns out that's not going so well. So they have removed him from the project, and they're looking for new writers to come on for Kenobi to improve the scripts, which were rooted from a great script, as I was told when I initially broke the story about the series happening. So they had a great story from the roots, and now they're trying to figure out how to make it better for the series as it stands currently. Now, whether it changes to 4 episodes or if they do something crazy like change it to a movie like some people are out there speculating, who knows? But all we have now are the facts that it still is a series. They're looking for someone to improve the scripts, and they've pushed filming from July of this summer to early 2021. What is that? I know Star Wars Celebration fans are like, well, what does that do for a panel of Star Wars Celebration? Are we still going to have a Kenobi panel? I hope so. I hope they do something, but I just don't know what they would be able to show then at that point. They could do a kind of a pep rally sort of thing, like, yeah, we're getting ready to film, and we're bringing on this person, and this person's coming back, and maybe some announcements for casts and that type of thing. But they won't. I doubt they'll be able to show a teaser now or anything like that, because they're not going to be filming early this summer, as opposed to which would have been a month or two before Celebration. Maybe could have snuck a quick teaser in there of a robe, a lightsaber, that sort of thing. But now we're looking at filming early 2021, according to Ewan McGregor. So. Who's probably a pretty good source on this thing, right? I think so. So that's it, guys. They're looking for new writers to improve the scripts, which are already very good, according to Ewan McGregor. So do not worry. I believe this project is still in good shape. It will be going forward. They're just trying to get it right, and they're not worried about rushing it. So I think all that is responsible production, responsible decision making, and I support that fully. One other quick nugget. I also heard that they're originally going to be setting up the studio in the new Pinewood expansion in Dagenham in the UK, but due to funding or issues with shareholders coming out of via someone at Pinewood, thanks to Matt at Star Wars Sessions had spoken to someone who works over at Pinewood. They might be moving it back to the original Pinewood studio, so who knows about that. All we know is that early 2021 is where we're looking right now for filming of this thing. Ewan McGregor's still fully on board. I believe Deborah Chow's not going anywhere either. I know a lot of fans love what she did with The Mandalorian, myself included. It looks like they're just trying to make those scripts better, guys, to give us the best Kenobi series possible. So just sit back, relax. He will be here when he's here to say, hello there, and we'll all love it. Hopefully, right? Anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by the Rumor and Theory Review. You can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and writing and editing over at StarWarsNewsNet.com. And, of course, you can find me on the Resistance broadcast with James and Lacey every Monday and Thursday right here on the Star Wars Newsnet YouTube channel. Also, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, all those types of formats. I want to thank again all of our patrons of the Resistance broadcast for making this possible. I can't do these types of videos without your support on there and all the other types of content that we're doing, not only on the YouTube channel, but also exclusively on patreon.com/Resistance broadcast. So again, thanks so much for stopping by. Continue to be the light in fandom, and we're always here to seek the truth on the Rumor and Theory Review. So thanks for joining me in doing that. And until next time, we'll see you around, kids.